brand new to you and then radicalize you into some bullshit because you had a bad experience, some girl dumped you in high school. Don't let anyone radicalize you. It's always been there. You need to work on yourself so you can create better results for yourself. That's the only bottom line here, because you just become another random crazy school cuckoo on the streets who's been radicalized by some guru on the internet. You have to be careful what you're listening to out there. I'm not hating on them. I'm just telling you, guess what? The truth. All right, so I got this a couple of videos here we're gonna review together. It's about 5 small clips. So T.I. released a video last week with Kevin Samuels. There was an interview that he did with him, right? I guess before he passed away. Actually, quite a while back. Maybe it's probably like almost a year ago, because he said in the video that he had less than 400,000 subscribers at the time, but before he passed away a few weeks ago, he had 1.4 something like that million subscribers. So it's a while back. I know he blew up very fast, but it's a few months ago when he had less than 400,000. So, but nonetheless, I found some clips, some rhetorics here. Is about, when I was watching, it's about 470 people watching the premiere live. So let's play this.
It's called No Walt. Not all women are like that. I'm like, yeah. If we're gonna have a conversation about general stuff, we can't go down the it's not always, it's not this, because that's a deflection tactic many women try to use. I got a lot of little buzzwords I use to make the conversation single.
Okay.
And then one of the biggest ones is called sign language.
Okay.
Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. It's like plays that used to work in Tecmo Bowl. Cap Boso over the middle, Bo Jackson for the win. These things tend to work to get.
Whatever you just said, I didn't understand that. You know, I'm African, so Cap Bozo, if you can type it into the comment for me. I don't know, whatever that was, but I don't think it mattered. But let's continue.
The conversation's thrown off because what you're honestly saying is, look, I got a married situation, you got a single situation. Don't bring your single ideas into my married house.
That's right.
Well, not all. I was like, well, then you go talk to them, not all over there. I'll come back when you got a husband and some years in this thing.
You know, it goes. I mean, the man has landmines.
All right, so let's talk about that really quickly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree on that. But nonetheless, you know, sometimes the truth is packaged in lies. And that's okay, you know. I can he said I don't know either, all that, right? Yeah, I could work with it. I could work with it. But he talked about the sign language, right? The sign language is one of the things that launched this channel when I featured on the TLA's platform, right? It was something that I noticed a bunch of the men in the manosphere were using. Anytime they don't want to hear the truth, they just go, there goes the sign language again. I saw it a few times. I'm like, sign language, it kind of correlates with the sign, you know, sign language, you know, like, you know, people that have, what do you call them? The people with disability that can't, that are hard at hearing. What do you call them? Sign language for the deaf community, right? So, but I didn't know that it was an acronym, right? But it made sense, you know, acronym: shaming, insulting, guilt tripping, and need to be right, or nagging. Some people, I've heard people say nagging before, so they tend to be confused themselves. But either way, right? And I said, look, okay, so now he's saying that he generalizes, but then when people come back with sign language, it's like kind of like surprise. I'm like, why are you surprised? If you generalize, if you blanket everybody, yes, the American Sign Language for the deaf community, right? If you blanket everyone into one stupid rhetoric because of your personal experience, yes, I find that 100% of the time people join these communities because of personal experience. They're just not willing to acknowledge. For the most part, they will rather shame and insult other people, and then claim and turn it around and say, you know, they kind of beat you to your own game and say, hey, you're the one shaming and insulting, but they actually engage in it more. It happens on both sides, both men and women. Okay, so yeah, so I noticed that, you know, but he's giving the excuse and saying that's why I generalize. So he goes,
not all. It's called No Walt. Not all women are like that. I'm like, yeah.
Not all women are like that. No what? I'm hearing that for the first time. Literally, like right now. I watched that video before, but I just caught that for the first time. No what? Not all women are like that. But that pushback is rightfully so, especially if a million people are listening to you and you're generalizing, and there are little boys that can't think for themselves in the comment area would tend to go outside and relate with other people with their generalized ideologies that they heard from their godfather, right? And they can pick up that this man, for the most part, I respect him because obviously he's a marketer, he's a genius marketer, right? For the most part, had all the slick talks to build a community, did a fantastic job doing it. No what? I mean, think about that for a second. No what, right? What is the excuse like, oh yeah, I'll just tell them, go talk to them over there. That's not all women are like that. He had the right to tell anybody who calls into his show. He had the right to say that to them. They got what they deserved. But I'm just pointing it out to you if you find your way to hear that it's bullshit. Okay? You need to, if you have a personal life that you care about, there's more to this than just some acronyms, right? And it's usually all in between the lines. It's not the math that you learned in school. It's not all the exact science that you're trying to bring this down to. It's the nuances. That's where all the wisdom lies. All right. So there's more. There's more. Let me try to capture all of the videos. I'm crunching on time.
Touch the third rail, but it's true.
But
I want to make sure I don't waste your time. So
don't touch the third rail, but it's true.
But a man could get with a woman and motivate her to do everything she needs to do to become fit, to become cooperative. If a man is, how can you say, motivating a woman properly, I believe, and if that woman is motivating that man properly, I believe we both have the missing components to what the other needs. I think the problem is what we're going out there and looking for is people who are strong in the ways that we are strong.
Okay.
A lot of
that's literally what he was. Maybe he didn't intend to do that, because I've heard him say some things that make sense a lot, actually. That's literally what a lot of people get out of him. They're looking for people who are exactly, who think the way they are. And these are sizable books. They're minimum 200 pages. You can download them absolutely for free by simply going to, for example, this one, you just go to getmymarriageback.com, smartrealestatewholesaling.com, realestatemoneysecrets.com. So yes, I am a 3 times author. Those books are out there for your consumption, and they are also available everywhere on Amazon, anywhere that you pick up books. So in case you prefer a physical book like that. And it doesn't work like that. I've been married for 15 years. Okay? By the grace of God, successfully. That's not the way it works. You're not looking for a person who is like you. That's okay? That never works. It doesn't exist. You're looking for people that are not like you that can complement you. It's the other way around. Yes, compatibility can be a thing, but a lot of time is a function of how you are as a person, how your partner is. Have you worked on yourself? If you haven't done that, and the rhetorics that they're pushing here in the name of we're just trying to build our community is to tell people to keep looking for people like them that have the same ideologies. So now they have people pandering to their talking points, the pick-me's, but they still can't marry them. And they're wondering, how come you can just marry each other? Because it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. Okay? Let's hear his response to that.
But what I also think about, you said, how'd you say it? You think a man can motivate a woman to do or be X, Y, Z.
Yes. And vice versa.
And vice versa.
Yes.
But what's missing from that calculus is, let's take it out of relationship. You got excellent credit rating and a lot of money. You're not gonna go buy a car that you got to do repair on when you can buy a Bentley off the lot.
All right, so you just compared human beings to Bentley and calculus. That's already a fail, instantly. That's a fail. You cannot make any argument with regards to people's emotions, people's emotional beings, emotional life, things that are driven by literally 99% emotions with comparison to calculus. It doesn't work. I'm an engineer by trade. It doesn't work, okay? You're effectively discounting the biggest variable, which is emotions. And that's why that doesn't work. Okay?
Basically, if you have the money and the credit rating to afford a Bentley, you're not gonna go get a car you gotta repair. And we've told women that men should accept men who go out here and
men don't have to accept shit. If you don't like it, you keep it moving. What we don't want to accept from men, me as a man, what I don't want to accept from a man is complaining and bitching. Like, you know what? That's what I'm not going to accept. Okay? You get to decide to sit in a situation that you don't like or you leave. You always have that option. That's calculus. Okay? You don't have to accept what you don't like. Ever. As an individual. Now, what I don't like is when you cap and say you're trying to save the community and you start to blanket everybody into the same thing, because some people like something different. They just do. That's the reality. The world that we live in will continue to evolve. There's no way around it. All right? Sorry, Mr. Samuels. Late Mr. Samuels. Sorry.
it's true. And they know it's true. And I have so many men of all stripes who are like, thank you for telling the truth. Please tell it. Because men have been so coward and so... Because it's true.
Why did I play this little clip here? Because it's true. He's not wrong about being true. All right? But a lot of people are going to be speaking their own version of truth and fact. And they're going to be single for a long time. When they actually want companionship. Listen, the truth varies. It goes from one extreme to the other because people have their experience and they have filters on. And what they call the truth is basically a function of their filters. And that's what I hear. You have two people arguing effectively and telling themselves, I'm speaking the truth. You're speaking the truth. No, I'm the truth. I'm the truth. And then you end up in somebody is telling some kind of lies. Maybe it's not both of them. Maybe it's the devil telling them the lies, both of them, right? So anytime I hear people say it's the truth, I look at them sideways now.
Use it as though they have known it all their lives, but that's what we do here. Okay, here we are. Kevin and I are often labeled as misogynists, when in fact we are headed toward an emphatic era of misandry.
Yeah, we damn sure didn't have that. I don't think most women realize they don't like men.
Yeah. I didn't realize women hated men so much.
Yeah, because I mean, their experiences, they internalize their trauma,
or the father, or their father,
brother.
Yeah. A lot of women are internalizing stories that they just heard.
That's true. There's some topics, there are some particular case studies, case by case, where I could definitely say that a lot of women do that. I mean, you could go on Clubhouse, you could go on Twitter Space, you could see a lot of people actively spewing hateful comments about men. But guess what? I've seen that on the other side too. So I'm forced to bring this down to individual by individual level. If you're a hateful person, I'll tell you you're hateful with your rhetorics. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I have to bring, since it's happening on both sides, calculus, Mr. Samuels, they cancel each other out. We have to bring it down to the individuals by individuals, because at the end of the day, that's the cornerstone of everything. The community is built out of individuals. So if you're busy generalizing and a bunch of panderers are in your comment and they're just saying yes, yes, to hell with all those women, and when they go to what's her name, Auntie G, Mrs. G or something like that, the women are doing the same thing and say yeah, to hell the man has come, right? It cancels each other out. It's always been there. Gender war has always been there. The only difference right now is the society combined together with social media. That's newsflash for a lot of you. Has always been there. Every group of people has always had some kind of other aiders coming from the other side, either man to man, religion to religion, culture to culture. Don't let anyone paint this as something brand new to you and then radicalize you into some bullshit because you had a bad experience, some girl dumped you in high school. Don't let anyone radicalize you. It's always been there. You need to work on yourself so you can create better results for yourself. That's the only bottom line here, because you just become another random crazy school cuckoo on the streets who's been radicalized by some guru on the internet. You have to be careful what you're listening to out there. I'm not hating on them. I'm just telling you, guess what? The truth.